Hey guys, what's up? This is Joe Live with Casa Real Estate. This is my first YouTube live, so I'm pretty excited about it. And I'm going to take this opportunity to talk about the real estate market because I have a lot of clients, current clients, and past clients that are asking me questions about home prices. Are home prices going to go down in 2022? Should they buy now? Or sellers asking me if they should sell their home this winter or wait till the spring market, but they're kind of worried that home prices might go down in 2022. So there's a lot of questions that I've been getting, and so I think the best way to answer these questions, or at least give you some perspective, is by looking at the market stats for last month and the last year, so we can kind of see based on what's been happening in the last year, we can kind of make some assumptions and try to uh, predict a little bit what's going to happen in 2022. So again, this is my first time doing the YouTube live. So if there are any glitches or technical difficulties, I apologize in advance. But let's go ahead and take a look at these statistics. So the first metric I want to look at is new listings. So for the month of September, we had 234 new listings. And this compares to, if we look at March, we had the highest. This shouldn't be a surprise because the spring market here in Rochester is pretty strong. A lot of people wait to sell their homes in March with match day and all that's going on with um, mayor residents. So that's the highest number. And then a lot of the statistics and the real estate market is pretty cyclical throughout the year. So if we look at March of 2020, we see that that was also the peak of number of new listings, and then it starts kind of going down up until like June, and then in June it goes up, and then it kind of starts going down, and then in December things kind of slow down, as you can kind of see this graph here, and then same thing. March we had a lot of listings, then in June kind of went up again, and then so I predict that October, November, and December we're gonna see a lot less listings than we are seeing now. So if you're a seller and you're thinking about selling your home, or you have to sell your home this winter, it's a good time because you're gonna have less other sellers, or less, you're gonna have less competition, right? So that's a good thing. Now the other stat that I want to look at is the days on the market. So if you were to have listed your home in September, your home would have been in the market for 9 days, which is, I mean, that's really fast. In June, which was a very busy month, um, there were the days on the market was three. So homes were just, being listed or active on Friday, and by Sunday they were basically already under contract. I mean, it was hard to even get an inspection, or I mean, forget about closing costs, and things were selling for above asking, which we'll take a look at that here in a little bit. So the month supply, I like to look at that. So what that tells you is if no new homes were to come into the market, how long before there were no homes for sale, right? So for the month of September, it was 1.3 months. Usually, anything under 6 months of month supply, that means that we are in a seller's market, and anything above six, that means that we're in a buyer's market. So if we look at, let's say, 10 years ago, so if we look at April of 2011, we were at 7.6 months supply. So I mean that means we're in a seller's market, and then right around a little after October of 2011, then we were kind of trending down, and we were going towards a shifting towards a seller's market, which now it's like, really, really, really a seller's market. So this is kind of an interesting fact. I am pretty analytical, and I like looking at all these numbers. I know most people probably don't, but I think you can always get some good information from that. So the median sales price for last month was 290, and then this past June we were at 307. So a lot of times buyers ask me like, "Hey, when's the best time to get the lowest or best price?" So if we look at this data or information or graph, usually December, January are going to be kind of the lowest median sales price. So if the home you're looking for, if you're pretty flexible with what you're looking for, and it's not a very hard to find property, or it's just very common here in Rochester, technically, like the best time to look would be, December, January, February. Like if we look here, January 2020, the median sell price was 228. Obviously, that has gone up. So, and in the winter, things kind of cool off, no pun intended. And so you might be able to, get some closing costs. Definitely get an inspection, and maybe you're like the only offer. You don't have to compete with anybody else. So those are good things if you're a buyer and this time of the year. So August and September, the median sales price kind of stayed about the same. Now let's look at before we look at price per square foot, let's look at the percentage of original price. So for August and September, if you would have listed your home at say $100,000, your home would have sold for that much. In June, which was again a very crazy month, you would have listed your home at 100,000. It would have sold for about 103,000, right? So again, in the let's see, so January of 2021, things were selling for about 99% of the original price. So if you would have listed for 100,000, you would have sold it for 99. So that's another kind of interesting metric to look at. Now, the price per square foot I like to use as a parameter. It's not a rule of thumb. It just kind of gives you some parameters as to what to expect. You should obviously, rely on, your real estate agent to help you if you're looking at homes or looking to sell your home, what the price should be for that home. So if I do a little math here, so let's see. So say you're looking at a house that's 2,000 square feet, and the median sale price is at, let's say, 154. So 154 times 2,000, so that's $308,000. So the median, you know, price of a home that's 2,000 square feet should be about 308, right? Now let's say you're looking at a house that's priced at 350, but the house has nice updates, is in good shape, in a great location, maybe a newer home. That price per square foot is gonna be more than the median. But if you're looking at a home that has deferred maintenance, maybe um, it's not updated, maybe it's not in the best location, then you would expect that home to be selling at a lower price per square foot. So again, just kind of gives you some parameters to look at, and so that's kind of how I use this price per square foot. And then Shosu Pending is kind of a newer metric I've been looking at. I don't know how long they've been tracking this one, but as of September, it was 11. So if you listed your home in September, after 11 showings, your property would have been under contract. If you're a seller, this is nice because if you've had your home and you've had 20, 30 showings and you still haven't sold your property, then probably means that your home is overpriced. So just another good metric. So if you're a buyer, right, and you're thinking, well, should I buy now or next year? I looked at some statistics, some other statistics, and opinions of professional economists and finance people, and basically their prediction. There were like different organizations that had different prediction, but kind of you take the average of all those predictions, they're expecting about 5% appreciation in 2022. This past year here in Rochester, it was 12%, right? And so which I mean, you could feel that things were appreciating really fast and for a lot, so that makes sense. So if you're looking to buy a home, buying now would be better because next year they're gonna be more expensive, but not by as much of a percentage as it was this last year. So let's say you're still working on your credit, or you're still working to save some money for your down payment. That's a good thing. Focus on that, and maybe wait till next year when you might be in a stronger position and be able to compete with other buyers. But at the end of the day, if you're gonna buy a home, if you're thinking about it, and as long as you stay in a home, kind of the rule of thumb is 3 years. If you're saying, well, I'll buy a home and I'll stay in that home for 3 years, for sure, maybe even 4 or 5 or more, then usually it's good to just buy a home. If you're thinking you might stay at most 3 years, then most likely you should just rent a house. And as far as if you're a seller right now, right now there's going to be less competition. You're going to still get a really good price. If you're not in a rush, if you don't have to like sell right now, or you're flexible, waiting until the spring market could be good, because you're going to have more buyers, and it's a new year. Homes won't appreciate as much next year, but they're still gonna be more expensive or higher price than it was than it is right now. So that would be a benefit. So again, it just depends on what your goals are. If you have questions or you want to talk more about real estate or about your situation, whether you're buying or selling, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to help you and give you advice and get a cup of coffee and talk more about it. If you like this kind of statistics like I do, and you want to get a monthly email with basically everything I just said, but on an email, and you don't have to hear me talk about it, just reach out to me and I can set you up so you get those emails. Just one email a month. I won't send you spam or anything like that. I'm not gonna bug you. Just send that email if you want. And if you want to get more content or more videos about living in Rochester, I'm gonna be doing some neighborhood tours and just putting a lot of good content, or at least in my opinion. Hit the subscribe button so that way you don't miss out on that. If you stuck this long, or if you were watching live or after it's live, thank you so much. This means a lot to me, and hope you found value in this video. And have a great day.